Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2023 in a brand new series today where we are going to take on a small Belgian club and see if we can turn them into European champions. Now the team that we are using today is Royal Union-saint-gilloise. They are a team on the outskirts of Brussels, not far outside the capital of Belgium, and they've had a really interesting history recently. You can see they were founded in 1897. You can see their kits lined up here. They play at Parc du Dam, the Stade Joseph Marion, and they have a capacity of about 8,000 people. It's not a big stadium. But you can see they've been floating around in the lower leagues of Belgium for some time, but more recently did manage to make it into the Jupiler Pro League. And in their very first season in the Jupiler Pro League, they actually finished top of the league, which was an incredible achievement given they have some financial backing, but not a huge amount, and yet they still finished top of the league. However, they were not Belgian champions, and you may notice the little zigzag pattern on the graph I'm showing you here, and that's because Belgium use a playoff system, and when they went into the playoffs they ended up finishing second behind Club Brugge, who went on to win the title that year. So despite getting promoted and immediately finishing top of the table, they were not able to win their first title for a very long time. And if you look at their competitions here, you can see they were a real force in Belgium before the Second World War, but since then it's been pretty difficult with just this runner-up position in 2022, third place in 1956 as well since the war. No Belgian Cup since the war either, so it's been very, very challenging times for them. But they have recently been taken over by Tony Bloom, who is the owner of Brighton and Hove Albion, and their fortunes have really turned around. They play in a beautiful little stadium, and it's a very, very up-and-coming club. So that's why we're deciding to take this team on. We want to see if we can turn them into some sort of European powerhouse. The series might go on for a little while, but obviously the focus, once we've conquered the Belgian League, will be to become champions of Europe. My plan to do that is to create a little bit of a factory farm system where we bring in top quality players and then while they're young, and then we flip them for a profit in the future. But at a certain stage, when it looks like we have the right crop of talent, I'm just not going to let them leave. I'd rather let them leave on a free and have them be unhappy than let them go just because somebody's bid a bit of money and they want to leave. I'm going to see if I can win the Champions League with the most unhappy squad in European history. Now, if we have a look at the squad as it exists, I have already made a few changes. We're already through pre-season, but their goalkeeper, the number one, is Anthony Maurice. He is from Luxembourg, and he's a top quality goalkeeper brought in from another team in Belgium, but has been a mainstay of Saint-Gilloise for some time. Then in defence, they actually have a few English players in the club, and the main one is Christian Burgess. He is a centre-back, was brought in from Portsmouth and has been brilliant for Union-Saint-Gilles since joining the club. The other big players in the team, Teddy Teuma, who is the captain of the club, real stalwart. He's from Malta, lots of small European countries in the club, joined from Red Star FC in France, and has been around the French lower leagues for most of his career before joining Union and helping them get promoted and then helping them finish top of the league. And then the other big players are more up top. They've got a few top quality attacking players. Simon Adringa is in on loan from Brighton, the parent club. He's worth quite a bit of money, expecting a lot for him this season. And then Dante Van Azier is another high quality striker, joined from Genk after being on loan at Mechelen, and he did well in their first season in the top division, getting 15 goals. Their main striker did actually go back to Brighton, or went to Brighton last season. So they did unfortunately lose out there. You might already know the name of the player, but it is Deniz Undav here, who joined them, and he has been very, very good since joining Brighton. 6 million. He was the top goal scorer last season for USG, but he's a very good goal scorer as well, and we expect to see him do well in the Premier League. And then also up top we have Victor Boniface, who joined the club and is worth 21 to 24 million. Look, an absolute steal of a player that they've managed to get, and we will struggle to hold on to him this season. Now, in terms of transfers of who else I have brought in, you can see there's been a lot of business this summer because a lot of players' contracts ran out. There was a few things that had to be sorted. And we have, after Simon Adringa came in on loan, also signed Moussa Dembele. The main reason that I wanted him is his teamwork up there, and also his work rate, determination, all those things, and his Premier League experience. He's still a top quality player. We got him on a free. He was playing in China. He hasn't asked for a ridiculous wage, only 14 grand a week, so he felt like a no-brainer. We also brought in Yoris Yangnon, who is an Ivorian centre-back, come out of the French division. He was playing for Saint-Etienne last season, but didn't actually play. He was on Sevilla's books for a while, played a lot for Rennes in France, so pretty confident that he can do a good job. He cost 12 million just a few years ago, so hoping we can revitalise him as well. And then finally, Alex Müller has been brought in, a little left winger, just to help balance out the wings. Another free transfer. I think they're probably some of the best free transfers we could have hoped to get. He's been bouncing around in Spain, even played for Malaga in La Liga for a time. So I'm hoping that he'll come, make the jump from the second division of Spanish football and do a job in the top division of Belgian football. But all of those players have value attached to them. So even if they don't do brilliantly, we should be able to shift them on and make a little bit of profit out of them coming in. They're all worth a few million. But there is really no more transfer budget. That's it. There's nothing left. We're capping the wage budget. We've got no more pounds or euros left to spend. And we're going to have to hope that this squad can do the job. So the tactic that we are going to be running with is the attacking 4-2-3-1 wide. You can see if I go on load, you should be able to see that this is actually a tactic made by Ditia, and it's off the FM Scout website. You can have a look on their tactics section if you want to see how it works. But you can see you got the advanced forward and then two inverted wingers. I've decided to go for a attacker midfield role. This is actually my preferred tactic and formation. I prefer a attacker midfielder over defensive midfielder, and that's why we've got Amani in that second striker position. Box-to-box midfielders in the centre, which Tayuma and Dembele are perfect for. And then we have two wing-backs, which is ideal with the squad that we've got, and two ball-playing defenders with Maurice in goal as a classic goalkeeper. You can see the instructions on the side here. Of course, it's attacking. Of course, it's gegenpressing. And I'm hoping that it can just dominate the Belgian League. So if we have a quick look at how the Belgian League is structured here, 18 teams, play everybody twice, and then you break it into the playoff system. When you get to the playoff system, I believe it's the top 6 that go into the playoff system, and however many points you have when that system begins get cut in half. So if you've got 70 points, you have 35 points, and then you play everybody in the top 6. I think you play everybody in the top 6 twice. And you still get 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw. So the most important thing is finishing not too far off the top, and then being confident you can beat the teams that are in there. But this is quite a competitive league. You do have Club Brugge in here, you've got Standard, Antwerp, and of course you've also got Anderlecht, USG's big rivals. USG obviously have a little bit of a battle with Anderlecht. I'm just looking here because their manager is not who I thought it would be. Their manager here is Robin Veldman, and the reason for that is that their old manager was called Mazu, and he was the manager of union-saint-gilloise when they finished top of the league last season. He got them promoted, and then he got them to the top of the league when they just finished runners-up after the playoff system. He left USG despite them coming top and went to their rivals Anderlecht, and very, very quickly, already in real life as I begin this series, has been sacked from that job after taking over from Vincent Kompany. So a nice little bit of Schadenfreude there for Union Saint-Gilles fans. Now, today, because we've already done pre-season, if we have a look at the schedule, you can see we've had a bit of a mixed result. Big win over St. Pauli, a 7-0 win over Meyrin. No idea where they're from, but we lost to some of the bigger teams like Mainz and Vitesse. But thankfully, we did beat Heerenveen, which was very good. The other benefit of finishing runner-up in the league is that they also have a shot at the Champions League. They're in the third qualifying round. I think there's a fourth qualifying round, and then you make it into the Champions League. So realistically, we're looking at Europa League. You lose this tie, you go straight into the Europa League. So next episode will be this double header against either Dynamo Kiev, who won 2-1 in the first leg, or Kitian Lanarkas, who are from Cyprus. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing Dynamo Kiev, and that will be a very tough game. But first, we have STVV, which is Saint-Trudense. I don't know all the Belgian teams that well. And they are going to be our first opponents today. So, for the game today, the way we're lining up, we've got Boniface up top, Adringa, our Brighton loanee on the left wing, Francois on the right wing, Amani in the second striker position, then it's Tayuma, Dembele, Jose Rodriguez, Van der Heyden, Christian Burgess and Bart Nieuwkoop at right back and Maurice in goal. Well, looking at that Saint-Trudense team, the main player standing out to me is Shinji Okazaki. That is the exact Shinji Okazaki that you are thinking of. Great to see that he is still playing football. I just want to see if I can click on his name here. It doesn't look like it. I also just want to make sure we've got the right settings on here, because it is a new save, and for some reason, despite changing it in the actual preferences, they have not managed to deal with the game resetting the settings every time you go in there. But we're on the attack already with the ball. Oh no, we're not. It's Saint-Trudense with the ball. It's because we wear the yellow and blue usually, but they are the ones who had the early attack, but nothing coming out of that yet. There is a free kick for us, so it's Teddy Tayuma with the free kick. We've got the director cam on. Hopefully that's not too distracting, as it's just saved by Schmidt there, and then it cleared away. Let me know what you think of the director camera, otherwise we will change it around. But Van der Heyden keeping the attack going, but they do send it back. It's on the line. That nearly went in for an own goal. The Belgian Pro League is a decent league. It's competitive, but the quality is not quite up there necessarily across the board. Club Brugge this season in the Champions League have been doing extremely well. I'm pretty sure they won their group in the Champions League and made it into the last 16. So there's definitely quality in the league to be careful of for us. And you can see in the early games there, Kortrijk with a big win. But there's another chance here. Nieuwkoop puts it into Boniface, back to Francois, and Boniface has then just hit that into the side of the goal. And I'm going to have to turn off this director camera because it is just too much for me. We do want to zoom right in though, so we'll fix that in a minute. But half-time has come now. I'm going to say we've been unlucky so far. I feel like we could definitely have done better here. I'm just going to pause it to fix these settings. I like it zoomed in, low camera angle. There we go. That's the classic that we're used to. And Adringa here sending it forward. It is cut out. Brawls back to Boyer, tries to play it forward. Rodriguez is there. It's come for Hashioka. Into Johnny Lucas. Bruno out wide to Hashioka once more, who loses it to Jose Rodriguez. Adringa forward to Lazar. Now Tayuma on to Moussa Dembele. On his debut, he picks out Francois in on goal, and he beats Schmidt with an excellent near post finish to make it 1-0 and get our era at union-saint-gilloise underway. This is an away game as well. It's even more important we get off to a winning start. Their right back, or whoever was playing over there, Bauer, just played Francois on by an absolute mile, and he took advantage of it, running in behind and getting the goal. 1-0 to us already. Taylor puts the ball in. It's cleared away. Now Brawls can counter-attack. He's up against some reasonably pacey defenders, but Bauer now picking up where his teammate left off. He sends it back to Kanate. Now Boyer plays it over the top. Johnny Lucas with the ball. He's going round, and it's well saved by Maurice there. to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Now, Brules with the corner. Puts it in. Okazaki is there, but it comes out to Brules again, and Francois then clears the ball out. Hashioka chasing after it, but nothing coming from that. It remains 1-0 at the moment. Nearly at the hour mark now. Might think about some changes. Got a few defenders on yellow cards, but I'm fairly happy with how the team are performing, and I don't want to rock the boat too much. Dembele gets tackled by Konate there. Now Okazaki through to Bruno. He may be offside there. He's whacked it over the top, and the assistance flag does ultimately go up, but that is maybe a sign that we do want to make a change quite quickly. As the ball is launched forward, Okazaki's got it. It is all Santrudian at the moment, and Okazaki is through. Now Lucas, and he's hit the crossbar. Definitely time to make a change after that. Probably the fullbacks who are maybe struggling the most. We can bring Lapoussin on at left back, but we might struggle on the right side. Keep that under observation for now. Might also want to change some of the attacking players to ensure we're keeping the threat down the other end as Lapoussin brings it forward. Now Adringa in behind, and Boniface is onto it. He gets round the keeper. That was a beautiful first touch there to take it out wide, round the goalkeeper, create the angle and get the ball in the back of the net. Excellent ball as well by Adringa. He's highly rated by Brighton, and you can see why there, but look at that touch from Boniface. That was beautiful, the way he chipped it up and then just finished it with his left foot to make it 2-0, and there is less than half an hour to go. That takes some of the pressure off at the back, but we want to make sure there's no silly mistakes here. Maurice out to Burgess. Now Dembele lays it off to Teddy Teuma. Lapoussin sends it over the top, looking for Boniface again. Goalkeeper does come and get it and then boots it downfield, but Van der Heyden has it. He finds Nieuwkoop. Now Francois into Lezay. He's got Boniface in the middle, but Van Dessel comes across and takes the ball away from him. Now Boyer forward. It's headed down to Dembele. Tries to get it over the top. It comes down. Lucas loses the ball there, and it's put in behind for Boniface again, who rounds the keeper once more and makes it 3-0. And this is becoming a little bit of a walk in the park now. Might want to look to bring on some more substitutions here, because we are absolutely cruising in this game. Nieuwkoop there won the ball. Francois in behind. I think it was intended for Lazare, but it was Boniface who got onto it. He rounded the goalkeeper and he made it 3-0 to Saint-Gilles. And we are looking pretty good now for the last 20 minutes of this game. We're going to keep the attacking mentality through to the end. You can see on the XG we've dominated this game, create the chances as well. We just haven't quite put them all away. Dembele maybe does need to be rested a little bit, so we'll bring Puertas on for him as Makeda deals with it in defence. I'm glad I took Burgess off, given Makeda's already got a yellow card. Ball over the top there. Boniface is looking for a hat-trick in this game. Bauer sends it forward. Header goes on. A little bit bitty at the moment as Teuma wins the ball, then loses it. Makeda won't put the tackle in, and that shot is straight at Maurice by Hayashi, and Makeda is now able to bring it out from defence for us. Into the last 10 minutes of the game. And we are basically over the line now, just a couple of minutes left to go. 5 minutes of added time somewhere from the referee, but this should be fairly easy. And there it goes, 3-0 in our first game as manager of Union-Saint-Gilles, and we are up to second in the league, just behind Kortrijk there. But we've got a nice run of games to go. One against Charleroi at home, our first game at Parc du Dan, and then it's either Dynamo Kiev or Kitien Lanarkas in the next game. So if you enjoyed today's episode, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe for more of the USG series and Football Manager experiments. But until next time, see ya!